Missing Jamie. How you doing, Jamie? Dr. Jamie.
Well, good afternoon,
That's the bell.
Rotarians and guests. We are so happy to be here once again. And we now officially call this meeting to an order. And as such, we'd like now for you to stand, please. As we say our rotary grace.
No.
Okay, rotary grace. Oh Lord, who knows our need, help us fulfill our very creed. We live to serve you every day in all we think or do or say. Accept our prayers for this meal restore. Forgive, inspire, and heal. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. The loyal toast. Jim, would you like Jim to do it?
The king and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Why Samuel?
King and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Something Mr.
Yeah, Jim, we passed apart now. We ain't gone now. Okay. Yes, I see you moment. Okay, thank you so much. You may be seated. And once again, it is my pleasure to welcome each and every one of you here to our Rotary meeting. Again, what a beautiful day it is. We are just so happy that all of you are able to join us, whether here or there, whether in person or by way of Zoom. And we want to just also encourage each and every one of you to make an effort, to make a special effort, to at least come to one meeting in person. We'll be so happy to shake your hand, happy to give you a hug, happy to give you a warm welcome, Rotary welcome. And I'm so happy to see my good past buddy, Catherine in the house. Let's make some noise. Catherine is here. Catherine made the commute. Made the commute, no excuses. He made the commute. Half an hour here, and then she said it's going to be half an hour back there. So, Catherine, we do appreciate you making that sacrifice. That's what you call a Rotary sacrifice. A Rotary sacrifice to be here and join us. So we quite happy for that. And we have Dwayne Swaby, who's online from Jamaica. Says he never misses a meeting. He's always here. So Dwayne, I'm glad that you're able to chime in from the sunny isle of Jamaica.
Yeah, I see a taste of it right here.
Beautiful. It is lovely.
Is the way working or playing? Is that I see a golf course and back there?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm missing a very important meeting just so that I don't miss my meeting at RCN. So imagine. That's how special you guys are.
We're so grateful for that, man. And we're thankful that you're able to chime in from Jamaica. So it shows Rotary dedication and commitment. We're happy that you are able to do that. Now, if there are any visiting Rotarians on the call?
Yes. Yeah, but quite a bit.
Well, we have quite a bit. Could you just open up your mic and you want to start in person first?
Okay, Mike Lightborn, East Nassau.
Yes, we have Rotarian Lightborn, Mike Lightborn.
Good to have you, Mike.
World renowned Mike Lightborn, everyone knows him. Rotarian Mike, good pleasure to have you here. Do we have any Rotarians on the call, on our call? I've been told that we have many. So if you want to just open up your mic and just say hi to RCN, we'll appreciate that. Visiting Rotarians.
Good afternoon, everyone. President Chantel, fellow Rotarians and guests. This is Charlene Kearney, Rotary Club of New Providence.
Thank you much, Charlene, for joining us. We're just so happy that you're here. Thank you so much. Anyone else? We just want to acknowledge you quickly.
Go ahead, speak, Ms. Johnson.
Rangan.
Thank you. Hi, I'm joining you from Freeport, Grand Bahama Island. I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama. I'm so pleased that I am meeting you all, and I wish you a wonderful luncheon Rotary meeting. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for Karen Reagan. We are just happy to have you chime in. We're from the beautiful second city. Don't get it wrong now. It's a second city. You're like the first, but you're the second. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Hope that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
You gotta be careful, Chantel will beat you up.
I just remember Madam President is from Freeport, Grand Bahama. She's always reminded every day that she's in the capital. She's in the capital, Nassau, sunny Bahamas. Anyone else? I wish to open up their mic and just visiting Rotarians. Okay, if we have no other visiting Rotarians, do we have any guests about Rotarians? Any guests of Rotarians on the call? If you're a guest, just open up your mic and just say hi to us. We always like to recognize our guests. Give you a warm welcome. Madam President,
I don't see any guests.
Okay, no guests on at this time. Okay, and so we're gonna move straight on, and now it gives me great pleasure. Soon to be okay. Okay, good. In her last and final month, and she's can't wait. She's gonna pass the baton on over so soon. And the person she's passing the baton on just walked in the door. Yes, good. So anyway, how you doing, Darren? Good, beautiful. President-elect Darren. So our President Chantel, who has done a wonderful job, an exciting job. And we hate to see her go, but you know, as a Rotary knows, we got to pass it on every year. But we're going to invite her now just to bring her greetings and her remarks. President Chantel.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. As our MC/Sergeant has said, this is my last month, so we're winding down. Thank you all so much for coming out on Saturday. That was my last event as president. We had a very good turnout. I did post in the chat that the standings committee, the geriatrics committee, they were very happy for our assistance. Looking forward to us pushing again. I know for us, that was the first time, so it's a little bit more than we were expecting, but hey, we survived. So they're looking forward to us assisting them again in the future. Right? Yeah. I know some of us, and I know me, I had to take bed afterwards, but you know, it was worth it. It was good. And our Rotarian Crystal, she was a part of that committee, so she was very happy to have us come out and support. So thank you again for that. And we look forward to a great meeting. We are getting into summer. By now, you should have your summer bodies, but by the end of this our presentation today, we should all know some other tips to do to get, make sure we get that summer body in shape. Okay, good. So our secretary is on, so she can go ahead and give us her update. She's online with us today. I believe so. Did she go? Yeah. Okay, I guess she did drop off. Sorry, I thought she was on. Right, so just a reminder from our secretary, then we do have the changeover coming up. We have been giving out a lot of tickets. Persons have been reaching out to myself and Francina. I can put the numbers in the chat again if you need it, but it is scheduled for Monday, the 3rd of July. It starts at 7, but cocktails are from 6 o'clock. So we look forward to seeing you all there. Darren promises that it's going to be, what you call it, bussin'? It's going to be bussin'. So we look forward to seeing you all there. We look forward to having an awesome changeover. So please do get your tickets. We are limited because of the space. So, better to get them sooner rather than later. Okay, so look forward to seeing you all there. And that is it. So Keno, should I call on you now?
All right, you shall.
Okay.
You shall call on me now.
Thank you.
Come on, give the membership chair a round of applause. Give me a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good to see all of you here today. Of course, I have a gift
when you miss your meeting, you don't get a gift. Only because Sandra showed up in the room. We have a gift for you, Sandra. Come and get your gift from Madam President. I was gonna take this and tell you, we ain't had no gift for you, but seeing that you showed up to the meeting, we have a gift for you. There you go, my dear. And also, we have some sweet gifts for those who are in person. That's right, that's right, that's the right one. We had some sweet gifts that came and was delivered handpicked. I know we handpicked, but I just say that. Handpicked and brought to us by Rotarian past president Sheila. Come on now, we have, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. I'm gonna have this in with my fruit salad tomorrow morning. So she brought something, a nice gift for everyone inside the room. And this is what membership is all about. Sheila and I, just before the meeting, we were talking about the difference between fellowship and fellowships and fellowship. There are two different things in Rotary. You're going to be hearing more and more of what it means, not only to just fellowship, but also to be a part of various fellowships that are in Rotary. Like, I think she was telling me there's something called the Sailing Fellowship, the Cycling Fellowship. What is another fellowship, Sheila?
Alright.
What's another fellowship? The sailing, the cycling?
Whiskey, wine.
Whiskey and wine, that's what I tell you over there. Especially sound. Fencing. So there are different fellowships within Rotary's fellowship. And I'm going to encourage you, even as we end this year and we get into the new year, as members, go to Rotary.org, find out how you could get involved in Rotary, and especially with your club. Now, I just want to go very, very quickly. And of course, it's always exciting when we have Craig on. Craig said to note, he said that his best buddy is on vacation. As we're going to be talking about men's health today, his best buddy's on vacation. But I want to commend the men today. I counted the men in the room. The men have outnumbered the women. And that is something that I definitely need to recognize. Because everywhere you go, the women are always outnumbering the men. In church, in different places, the women are normally outnumbering the men. But in Rotary, on the 6th day of June, the men have outnumbered the women. Come on, let's and we should have the women cheering for that, just for that. Just for that. Thank you very much. Because we've always given you our props. Of course, last month we celebrated the women. Of course, it was the month of May. And of course, this month we're celebrating the men. That's why we're so happy to have our guest speaker to talk about how we could get into our best body. Let me button up a jacket, see if it can fit. All right, so let's get right into some recognition. Alondra, I didn't see Alondra on, but we want to say happy anniversary to Alondra, who is actually celebrating her birthday. Her birthday anniversary. Her birthday is actually today. So Alondra, happy birthday. We had you as anniversary, but forgive us. But happy birthday, Alondra. I wish you were here in person so that we could do the dance. Magdalena, and that is the Satellite Club in Cat Island. She's celebrating her anniversary on May 11th. They're all birthdays. All right. Thank you very much. So Magdalena, happy birthday to you. Nikita, that's also in that Satellite Club or in Cat Island. She's also going to be celebrating her birthday. And Philip, it's also, this is the Satellite Club of Cat Island Day. We have 3 persons celebrating their birthdays, and of course, Alondra celebrating her birthday. Get the birthday song ready. And then Tony, our past president, Tony, he's celebrating his anniversary. Let's give Tony a round of applause. 36 years serving service above self in the Rotary Club of Nassau. And just walking in is our Rotarian Maxine. Hi, Maxine, how you doing? It's good to have you with us today. You still do outnumber us today, but that's good. Let the numbers come in. And as Wayne said, we really want to encourage all of you who are actually on Rotary in the cyber world and in Zoom. We want to make sure that you make an effort to come out. When you see Dwayne, who's in Jamaica, making an effort to come on Rotary, and although he's on Zoom, he's in Jamaica, he makes an effort. When we see persons like Shelby and who else is there? And Catherine.
Jamie is in Acklands, by the way.
Jamie is
Yes, I'm in Acklands.
Yeah, we
Ladies
can't
and
leave
gentlemen.
Jamie out. She's in Acklands.
Jamie, hey Jamie. And of course, Craig in that car that he has on this picture, Craig Lowe, he's making sure that the weather is always good. But I say to you, Rotary is about not only about service, it's about making that sacrifice. So we're encouraging you, make that effort to come to our meetings at least twice a month to ensure that you're here, you're celebrating with your fellow Rotarians. And on that, I want to say thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Oh, the birthday song. I'm sorry. Go ahead, play it there. Come on.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. My birthday, come again. My birthday, come again. My birthday, come again. How old am I now? My birthday, come again. My birthday, come again. My birthday, come again. So I can party all night.
Thank you.
Give it up, let's give it up. Give it up. Number seven. Good job, good job. I'm so happy that we're able to highlight those who are celebrating and those who are celebrating birthdays. And Alondra, happy birthday. She's probably in class now. She's a school teacher, so we understand. She cannot be on. But we want to send her happy birthday wishes to her nonetheless. And now is Rotarian Anita on the call?
Dr. Anita Dean?
Yes.
Yeah, she's on.
Okay.
Dr. Anita.
So doctor's on. So without further ado,
Oh, she did walk in.
yes, she's impressive.
Get it right in time.
Come straight up.
Straight up.
Immediately come straight up. You walk in right in time. Because we just gonna ask you now to introduce our guest speaker. And so coming now to introduce our guest speaker. And again, you heard Rotarian Keno mention the fact that we have more men in this room than women, but the women coming in, boy,
Coming in.
you know, the women coming in.
Going with that. They say
So, this is an exciting competition with how many women, how many men. This is exciting. Boy, this is neck and neck. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
11 men.
7, 8, 9, 10.
11.
11 men. 11 men in the room. Now let's see what women. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 women. We got them by 2. We got them by 2. You want me coming again? Yeah, so please do come out, man. Do come out. We have a good bunch here. The numbers are growing. That's what it's all about. Fellowship. Thank you so much. I'm coming now to introduce our guest speakers, none other than our Rotarian Anita, who will come and introduce the man of the hour. We're going to give us men some more encouraging words as we continue to lead the way. You're going to lead the way in Rotary and every place else. Thank you so much.
Come in as well.
And I'm so happy that the men won over the women today because he's speaking on the men. And that's a wonderful opportunity for the men to hear what he has to say about health and exercise. Okay, so this is Dr. Ken Bazar. Dr. Ken Bazar is a Bahamian sports medicine physician, certified sports performance trainer, and sports nutrition specialist. A graduate of the University of the West Indies He completed his postgraduate studies in clinical sports medicine at the Mona campus in Kingston, Jamaica. I guess that's where Dwayne is today, right? Presently, he is a senior house officer in radiology at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Dr. Bazard has been an athlete all his life, mostly in track and field, martial arts, softball, and basketball. He has been coaching athletes since 2000 and has produced 5 professional fighters, of which 2 have world titles and another was ranked #1 in the region. An entrepreneur, he has been a part of over 15 startups, many of which are still open today. His latest venture is Empire Fitness Sports Medicine and Sports Performance Center. His passion includes entrepreneurship, motorsports, martial arts, Bahamian culture, and the development of Bahamian youths. Miss Dr. Bazan, sorry, holds close the values taught to him by his mother, Dr. Patricia Bazard, and the unquenchable drive to succeed by his father, Lucito Bazard. He was, as we recognize Father's Day during this month of June. Please. Okay for the men. Father's Day during the month of June. Please welcome Dr. Ken Bazard to discuss and
All right. Thank you for that introduction, Dr. Dean. I would like to say a special thank you to President Chantel and also extend greetings to the incoming president as well. I gotta recognize well.
Yes, yes.
I was saying as I stood up, about 5 of my joints cracked. I said, hope I don't come across on Zoom. I was kind of loud just now. You can't be talking about men's health and can't be talking about men's health and while your joints cracking. But I'm very happy to be here. Men's health is actually an additional passion of mine. And very recently, because it's as I myself start to approach the big 5-0. It has become really more apparent to me how much we men, especially us Bahamian men, tend to ignore our own health. And it's not because we don't care about it. It's mostly because we spend most of our time caring for others, caring for the family, caring for the business, caring for work, whatever it is we're doing. And we spend very little time caring for ourselves. So that's become a recent passion of mine. I work with a few older patients that are a few older men that are patients of mine with osteoarthritis and post-stroke. And a lot of times these diseases that occur, and we will talk about this soon, are just because of we're not paying attention to ourselves. So as we go through this presentation, I want to but I want to make sure that we get to the proper point. Some woman touched his computer. They don't want us to do it. That's a joke. I'm going to tell jokes, okay? Lots of male and female jokes. Get ready.
How's that? Okay. All right, so just a little bit about us. I'm gonna say us, I'm talking about men. So there is a little, like I said a few minutes ago, there's a lack of awareness and understanding about the health issues that men face. Surprisingly, very little research goes into this area, although we have data on many topics. But there are a lot of topics that are very poorly covered. Men do not openly discuss their health and how they're feeling. Most men ignore getting any type of health screening at all. Men are reluctant to take action when they don't feel well. We usually, we don't go to the doctor until we feel like we're about to die. Men engage in risky activities that threaten their health. And that's, you heard one of my passions was motorsports. I'm one of those people who frequently drive above the speed limit. I'm gonna admit that. Also spend a lot of time playing contact sports and martial arts, doing a bunch of dangerous things. And I'm sure there are other things that I can't mention at this program that I've done that was quite risky. So men tend to engage more in risky activities. These guys are jumping off bridges with strings attached to their feet and nonsense like that. Men are 24% less likely than women to have visited a doctor in the past 5 years. Men live on average 6 years less than women. I'm going to move on from that. There are stigmas surrounding mental health, especially for men. You all heard the term as men, man up. Something's wrong, you man up. Doesn't matter what it is. I chopped my arm off. It's just an arm. Do you remember the scene in 300 when the guy's eye got stabbed out and he said, "It's okay, sir, it's just an eye." It's like, okay, moving on. So there's stigmas surrounding mental health. We must be tough, and we're expected to be tough. It's our role to be tough. A few more points about men. There are health conditions that only affect men, such as prostate cancer and low testosterone. Screening tests can find diseases early, and this is why it's so important, when they're easier to treat. The leading causes of death for males are heart disease, lung cancer, and stroke. These conditions can be attributed in large part to modifiable health factors. What we mean by modifiable health factors are things that you can change. Smoking, you can stop that. Yes, it's hard, you can stop that. Excessive alcohol. I didn't say drinking, I said excessive alcohol. You can stop that. Yes, it's hard, you can stop that. So modifiable health risks, including stress, tobacco use, modifying your body weight, activity levels, and nutrition habits. We're going to spend some time on that. In 2007, 41% of men reported engaging in regular physical activity. That's not a lot. That's aside from work. In 2004, 70% of the male population was overweight or obese. These are American numbers, by the way. Was overweight or obese. All right. Depression affects 6 million men per year. And just of note, men are more likely to commit suicide as a result of depression. So the definition of men's health. Men's health in general practice is defined as the holistic management and health conditions and risks that are most common or specific to men in order to promote optimal physical, emotional, and social health in the general practice setting. This is taken from the WHO website. So our goals for this presentation, we want to become aware of our health risks that men are facing today. We want to learn about lifestyle choices that reduce those risks and improve our health. We want to understand preventative care and recommend certain screening tests. We want to learn about resources that are available to support healthy choices and any other questions or discussions that come up. So let's start with the big gorilla in the room, diet. Somebody, when I walked in, Madam President, the first thing she asked me is, she hopes that I can eat something that's under my diet. She says she figures that I eat a special diet. I'm going to surprise you in a minute, but the truth is, we should eat about 3 to 5 times per day. I don't like the word diet because the term diet, because we use it incorrectly, and there's a very negative connotation associated with it. When you say you're on a diet, people think that means eat less. And that's not what diet means. We're all on a diet. Diet is either good or poor. We're all on a diet. You're always on a diet. If you're eating in life, you're on a diet. Correct? So you should stop saying I'm going on a diet. You're always on a diet. the question is your diet good, high quality, or is it poor? Is it nutrition? Is it nutrition dense or is it nutrition poor? And most of the Bahamian diet, unfortunately, as good as it is, taste, is nutrition poor. All right? We're going to talk about drinking habits, water and other drinking habits. So, because we drink more than water, right? Water is, and beverages in general, as we know, and I found it a few years ago when I did a presentation on rehydration. There's an international war going on between these beverage companies. I had no idea it was so serious, but it's very serious. There's a lot of competition for your attention and your money and to see who's right and who's best. Even the water guys want to say that their water is better than the other person's water. It's a big war going on. Nevertheless, some data came out a few weeks ago that actually suggested that the amount of water that we've been told to drink growing up, which is what? 8 glasses. We've learned that for the past 50 years, may not actually be enough water. So if you're under 8 glasses, guess what? You're way under. You're not even. So 8 glasses may not be enough. You're thinking more, it's somewhere around 12, maybe even 15. But the reason why is because number one, our activity levels vary. Person's metabolisms vary. And your energy expenditure or what you do throughout the day, and even the environment you live in vary. If you live in certain parts of the world, you need more water. If you live in the Bahamas, you need more water. You need more than 8 glasses, period, full stop. Doesn't matter what you do. If you live in the Bahamas, you need more than 8 glasses of water. It's hot, right? So all these factors led us to think that, yes, 8 may not be enough. We need some more, we need more water in our diet. It's as easy as just looking at the facts. How much percent of your body is water? That was a question. Plenty, right? Plenty. You don't need the number. Plenty. Right? So the point is, most of your body is water, more than 60%. So therefore, you need to drink water. All right, and you got to. I used to be friends with somebody who never drank water. According to them, I don't drink water. I don't like it. All right, so you want to make sure that we're taking in enough water. And 8 glasses may not be enough for you. So have a talk with your doctor, nutrition trainer, etc. And there's this new term called mindfulness, which means kind of paying attention to yourself. It should be obvious, but it's a term being tossed around a lot in various spaces. Being mindful of your appetite, being mindful of your activity level, being mindful of your health. It just means paying attention to your body. Pay attention to what your body is saying. A lot of times, the reason why you're tired is because you're thirsty, or you haven't, sorry, not thirsty, you don't have enough water. A lot of reasons why you're having this headache is because you haven't had enough water. Why you're so groggy in the morning? Because you don't have enough water. Why you can't sleep? Because you. Okay.
Yes.
So the other drinking habits, and I'm going to spend a short time on that. I enjoy a casual beverage myself. But we have to be careful, of course, about the volume. So really quick, and I think this has changed, but I remember from the American Heart Association maybe about 10 or 15 years ago. And to keep it simple, per day. First of all, alcohol is not evil. Right? You should be rejoicing. Alcohol is not evil, right? So alcohol is not evil, it's the behavior. Alcoholism. Correct? Sounds better? So alcoholism is evil, not alcohol. So how much alcohol per day can we have, Doc? Well, one of these, 1 bottle of collect, or almost one of these of hard liqueur or mixed liqueur. Right? 1 per day. 1 of either or. Per day. So let's not get too much into the numbers, but it's something like 4 ounces, 6 ounces, 8 ounces. Don't worry about that. 1 of each of those per day. And you should be fine. Now, who does that? Absolutely nobody. So the problem is, and especially in our society, we binge, right? We have carnival. We don't drink all week, and then we go to fish fry on Saturday or somebody's barbecue, and we drink a lot, right? And we don't usually do that. And guess what? That day, how much water did we drink? Probably none. So does that take an effect? That has a short-term effect and a long-term effect on your body. So you want to avoid that. If you know you go into your boy's house and he's gonna have a few beverages, hydrate, start hydrating 2 days out, drink more water. Yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna tell you stop drinking alcohol. That would be a hypocrite if I tell you that. But I'm not gonna stop. Right? But we have to control ourselves and we have to be mindful of what we're doing. All right, so another big one, and a tough one in the Bahamian diet, because I love Bahamian food like everybody else. But we need to reduce our saturated fats and try to eliminate trans fats. Boy, so the problem is saturated, these fats taste good. That's the problem. This is boiled down to it. People like Wobble Duff. I'm a cupcake and cookie man myself. You know, Bamboo Shack I have Bamboo Shack once, twice a year. But a year. But you have some people who are in the KFC line every day. Those things are dangerous. And we know that these fats they don't just add pounds. We know now that they cause a lot of other effects around the body. Just the amount of fat you have in your body causes what's called a chronic inflammatory response. So what it means is your body's defense reaction, which to some degree causes damage, is constantly going on. Maybe at low levels, but it's constantly going. Some of us guys who are cross 40, when you start to walk and you feel that irritation in your knee and it lasts a couple of days after trying to play basketball with your boys, that process that causes that pain is going on in your entire body when you have more fat on it, the more fat you have. Now, what happens over time is that cells begin to change because they're feeling the effect of that process. So the cells that are feeling those chemicals start to change. And some of those cells change forever. And when cells change forever, they go on their own, they go wild. And they turn into whatever they want to. And they grow as big as they want to. You know what I'm talking about? So they grow as big as they want to, they turn into whatever they want to, and they stop listening to the body and the brain and everybody else. And they say, listen, we're gonna take over this body here. We're gonna we're gonna consume all the energy. And if there's space here, we're gonna take up the space. We're gonna push this bone to the side. We're gonna compress this artery. We're gonna do whatever it is you want to do. Right? Because we're out of control. Because we've changed forever. All right, kind of like your kids when they reach 13 years old, right? So be careful with that. And just to put it bluntly, yes, fat causes cancer, yes, absolutely. And you can find this data anywhere that has been proven, and it's absolutely true. So we need to make efforts in our diet to reduce our consumption of fatty foods, especially the deep fried stuff. The fries on the, see on everybody plate. Everybody got fries on the plate. Sorry guys, are you sure they taste good? I know they taste good. I can smell them. I can smell them and they smell good, but I'm not gonna eat them. That's why it took so long looking at the menu, because you asked me what I was gonna eat. And I looked at this menu for like 3 minutes and it was an uncomfortable silence. I'm sure she's trying to figure out what is he doing? Why is he doing so well? So I finally said, you know what? I'm gonna have salad with the grilled chicken. Right. So you want to reduce those fats. Eat complex carbs instead of fast-acting carbs. So the fast-acting carbs, again, the junk food, the candy, the soda, the Debbie patties, the cinnamon buns, Dunkin' Donuts, all those things. Simple, fast-acting carbs. They're good for athletes to eat right before they go on the track or something. Great. If you go on the basketball court, fine. Go to Dunkin' Donuts, eat a donut. Right? But you notice I was very specific. But complex carbs are what you want to ingest more of. The fruits, your vegetables, your different types of rice. Not all rices, or too much rice is not good, but different types of rice, especially the jasmines and those things. I now eat zucchini and what's those little things called? Brussels sprouts. I had for the first time this year. I had no idea they taste so good. Brussels sprouts taste good. I had no idea. At 18, 25, 30, I would never eat Brussels sprouts. Crazy. But now they taste good. I have no idea how we didn't know this. How did we miss that? But Brussels sprouts are good. Who knew? All right, so spinach. I love spinach now. I would never eat spinach as a kid. So we want to eat more complex carbs. That's where you should get most of your energy from. Instead of we try to get most of our energy from fats because the fat in our diet is way up here. And the protein is way down there, and the carbs is somewhere in between, usually up here with fat. And it's usually, again, simple carbs. So that means we have a lot of bad stuff acting on our body instead of good stuff. I'm gonna speed up a little bit. Don't skimp on the protein, which means eat your meat, but it doesn't have to be meat. You want to get protein from vegetables and fine, or fish, or anywhere else. But don't skimp means one of the biggest, believe it or not, as much chicken as we eat. And I saw when I was a teenager, some special on Discovery Channel said that the Bahamas consumes, I was about 100 pounds of, estimated 100 pounds of chicken per person per year. Anybody heard this before? 100 pounds of chicken per person per year, or per capita, or something like that. That was back in the 90s. I'm probably more than that right now. That's a lot of chicken. But believe it or not, our protein intake is still pretty low. And we actually have a very nutrition poor diet. Our nutrition is diet is nutrition poor and calorie dense. What you want is calorie poor and nutrition dense. All right, so you want to swap that out. So don't skimp on the protein, eat the meat as long as it's not deep fried and saturated fat. Eat the meat. Okay. All right, so just a quick, I go through this with my diet clients. We use our hands to measure our portion instead of measuring numbers, because nobody remembers numbers. So we use our hands. We use a palm, this part of our palm, to measure one portion of protein. If I tell them they need to eat 2 or 3 portions of protein per meal, that means 2 or 3 of these of your hand. All right, and that's any protein, whatever your protein source is, eggs. Whatever it's a veggie sauce or a meat sauce. Unfortunately, what that usually means for me is, well, I used to make a 6-egg omelet. My wife didn't appreciate that at all. Because about 2 days, eggs gone, right? 1 portion of vegetables is your fist, carbs is your hand, all right? And fat should be your thumb. What? That's a serving. That's a serving of fat. Should be your thumb. Yes. That's exactly what it should be. All right. So if you want to screenshot that or take a picture of that, that's a good one. Now the question is, what should your portions be? Mostly protein, mostly vegetables, some carbs, very little fat. Simple. You forget numbers for now. She just gave me dry. Johnny K.
Oh. Yeah,
I was saying no. Actually, that's margarine, not even what the other butter called. I can't believe it's not butter. That was margarine, right?
Wow.
All right, so can't say very much, but just some protein sources. I use this with my diets as well, but we use what's called the green, yellow, red sheet. So we have the green, which you want to eat more of, the yellow you eat some of, and the red you want to eat less of. Less fried chicken, less of those frozen meats, less high mercury fish. Oh boy, the macro. Less of the sweet bars. Be careful with the protein bars. They sound good, but you have to be careful with those. The weird sausages and stuff. You know how you make hot dogs and those things? You don't want to know. You don't.
No.
Let's not talk about that. So for protein, you want 1 simple formula I'm going to give you, 1 to 2 pounds per meal. Same thing, I think I said this already. With the carbohydrates, same thing, green, yellow, red. So eat more of these, more. Let me say this properly. I've been practicing this for weeks. Quinoa. Is that right? Quinoa. Quinoa. Anyway, keep practicing. Quinoa. Beans, legumes, and those things, right? Eat more of those. You want to eat less of, be careful with the sport drinks. Gatorade has done a disservice to humanity by allowing them to believe that you can just drink it at any time. It's not designed for that. Gatorade is not designed for that. It should not be a bamboo shot to go along with your, and people think they, doing good. I'm being healthy by having Gatorade with my bamboo shot, with my front snack. That's better than the soda, right? No, it's not. It's not. It's just as bad or worse. There's way more sodium in the Gatorade. Gatorade is for during and after your workout, maybe before, but mostly during exercise and after exercise. It is not for anything else. They would assassinate me if they hear me saying this, because this is a serious thing. You're gonna cut into their money, right? So it's not, another thing is Gatorade is not to drink when you're thirsty. Right? Gatorade, they say Gatorade quenches thirst. That's their motto. The thirst quencher. That's what they say, right? Gatorade, the thirst quencher. And they spread that on TV. Gatorade is not designed to quench your thirst. Gatorade is to drive your thirst. So Gatorade is designed to give you a bunch of sodium and stuff, replace your electrolytes, and that is supposed to make you want to drink more water. Water. That's how it works. That's how it's supposed to work. Right? So you're supposed to drink Gatorade and then water. They don't tell you that in the commercial. All right? These energy drinks. I saw some kids just walking on the street with a Monster in their hand. Little kid who's drinking the Monster. Monster is monstrous. It's a terrible. And if you look on those cans, and Red Bull is the only one who changed that I when I was paying attention to it. Red Bull changed the servings on their can, right? If you look at the servings, everybody knows how to read a nutritional fact. Look at the servings. Everything on the nutrition fact, you can multiply by the serving. So if it says 10 ounces of fat, 10 grams of fat, and it says 3 servings, and you drink the whole thing, that's 30. All right? Same thing with the sodium. If it says 60 grams of sugar, 60 grams of sodium, or 150 grams of sodium for some of these drinks. If you drink the whole drink, and it's 3 servings, it's times 3. You understand? So when you drink that whole Monster, if you look on it, a lot of those say 2 servings or 3 servings. It means you're supposed to drink half, put it away until tomorrow, and then drink the rest of it. That's what you're supposed to do. Is that what we do? No. That's not what we do. That's why the cans got smaller. Remember the cans used to be big? That's why the cans got smaller. All right, because people started to read. All right, fries, all those things. I love fries. You gotta avoid those. So this is what your plate should look like. Look at that plate. Yeah, I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna speed it up. So talking about carbs, we talked about that already. You want same thing with the fats, green, yellow, red. All right. There's your serving of fats on your plate. This person has 2 thumbs of fat. So you see how much fat on the plate compared to everything else? So a thumb is about 7 to 12, depending on your thumb, right? And now let's go quickly about activity. So we want activity. You want 30 moderately intense minutes per day, 5 days a week. Or you can do vigorously intense cardio for 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. What does that mean? Also do 8 to 10 straight strength training exercises of 8 to 12 reps. Twice a week, at least twice a week. We used to think that once you cross 40, you should stop lifting weights. We now know that's trash. My 70, 80-year-old clients lift weights. They do bench press, they do deadlift, they do squats, all right? Physical activity helps you to maintain your weight, maintain a healthy weight, I should put, reduce your blood pressure, reduce risk for type 2 diabetes, reduces arthritis, pain. It's very effective resistance training for reducing arthritis pain. I use that almost exclusively. I use resistance training with my arthritis patients. Reduce risk for osteoporosis and falls, and reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. So what is moderate? If you're breathing and your heart rate goes up a little bit, like a 15-minute walk, some light yard work, playing with your kids, that's moderate activity. All right. Vigorous, you can feel your heart beating in your chest. Jogging, swimming laps. Nobody here rollerblades anymore, but skating. I have a client that skis a lot. And competitive sports, football, basketball, soccer. All right. Also, if you go to a physical trainer and he does what's called a high intensity interval training with you, yeah, that's vigorous. All right, don't smoke. Simple. Don't smoke. We've known this for almost 100 years now. Smoke causes lung cancer. It still does. It always did, and it will continue to do that until we create something that doesn't. All right? If somebody asked me about vaping, there's not a lot of data on vaping, but we know it's not 100% safe either. It's not. It's not 100% safe. Somebody also asked me in a presentation about marijuana. There are questions about marijuana. There are some benefits, but guess what? Marijuana has been found to cause lung cancer. They don't advertise that. I'm talking about smoking it now. I'm not talking about the other formulas, all right? But smoking marijuana, the leaf itself, okay, can increase the risk of lung cancer as well. And I've seen 2 patients with lung cancer who exclusively smoke marijuana here in the Bahamas, all right? Within hours of quitting smoking, your health risks reduce within hours. All right, we're coming down to the end. Don't duck your doctor. Don't duck me. All right, get your well checked. Don't wait till you, by the time, especially with hypertension and diabetes, by the time you feel pain, there's a big problem. You're almost too late, especially with hypertension. The reason why they're so dangerous is because they're painless. If you had pain, every time your pressure crossed 150, doc, hospital would be packed with people, right? Even more than it is. Everybody will be there, doctor. As soon as you cross 150, if you got pain in your chest and your head, no problem. As soon as your sugar go over 200, if you felt pain, we wouldn't have this problem. There's no pain. Make it even worse is the fun things that's associated with the stuff. It's drinking, body, and stressing each other out, right? So don't duck your doctor. Make sure keep in tune with your cholesterol levels and other symptoms you may have in vision, hearing, bones and joints, things like that. Don't forget your dentist also, and for men especially, prostate and colon cancer, which we have a very high incidence in the Bahamas. Don't duck your doctor, you know what I'm talking about. Use your birthday as a reminder. That's a good way to remember all the time. Every year come around to your birthday, say, you know what, you go to my doctor, get checked out. Go for a well check. See the first thing there? Well check. That means you're well. That means you're not sick. So you went to the doctor because you're not sick, and it's my birthday, especially when you cross 35. Okay. So manage your stress. I put these words small because I didn't want the women to be able to see it. So manage your stress. Slow down. Plan ahead. Allow enough time for things. Listen, man, my wife has helped me a lot to plan my life and really, really made a big difference. We like to live chaotically, just kind of letting whatever happens, just control what we do for during the day. Plan your week, man. Plan your appointments. I know what time I'm supposed to be here. I know what I'm doing at 2 o'clock, which I'm on late for. I know what I'm doing at 3. I know what I'm doing at 4. I know what I'm seeing at 6. I know. Tomorrow I can tell you. Next week I can tell you what I'm seeing at 3 p.m. Wednesday. I know. It's good to organize your life like that. It makes a big difference. And don't forget to put your wife things in there. Okay? Because you can be more stressed. Try to get more sleep. Try to get 9 hours of sleep. 9. 7 to 9. 7 to 9. But try for 9. Let worry go. See, if you plan well, then you get 9. All right? Let worry go. Learn to de-stress, decompress yourself. Yes, 9 consecutive. Drink more water and you get more sleep. Learn to de-stress yourself. Now, don't de-stress yourself with the stuff that's unhealthy, like the cigars. Well, I smoke a cigar now. But excessive alcohol and excessive behaviors. You tend to try to relieve stress with excessive behaviors, and again, that causes more problems. All right? Payment man have no problem laughing, so you can skip that. And get connected. We always have good friends. We very sociable men wherever we go. On the Rotary, yes. All right. We talked about being organized, practice giving back. Rotary. All right. Be active every day. Rotary. But exercise. Try to find a daily routine, even if it's 2-3 days a week. Try to fit exercise into your routine. Give up the bad habits, excessive alcohol, tobacco, even caffeine. And I'm a one-a-day black coffee person. But that's it. Shouldn't be more than grams. But 1 cup of coffee should do you for the day. I'm around some people and they're 5 p.m. and they're coffee. Coffee at 5 p.m. That's why you only get the 4 hours sleep. All right. Lean into things you can change. Leave those things alone that you cannot change, like your wife. My wife should be watching this. That's why I'm saying that. I think she's watching. You cannot change. So don't even. Why are you worrying? Just leave it alone. Okay. I calculated this, trust me. Men are more likely to be both the perpetrators of violence and its victims. This is a fact that we don't talk about a lot. I know there's been a lot of attention on, women's health and well-being and equality and those things, and that's great. We need that. We love it. We want our women to be next to us, healthy, strong, and safe. But just remember that most of the victims of violence are men. Most of the perpetrators of violence, yes, are men. And so men are more likely to be homeless. More of us are on drug use. More of us experience depression. I mentioned suicide. More of us commit suicide. The difficulties in your relationship, like my wife had in these comments. We tend to perpetrate the cycle of violence by the experiences that we have. So you have to be careful about being the cause of our own problems in our environment, okay? So we have increased rates of suicide, like I said. And I think masculinity is kind of being perverted. It's become an ugly word now. They call it toxic masculinity, and I think that's unfair. I think it's unfair to say that there's such thing as toxic femininity or masculinity. It's just toxic people. You agree? Yeah, you're just toxic people, male or female, you're toxic, right? So there shouldn't be toxic, masculinity toxic. No, there's just toxic people, and don't let that stress you out, because when I first started hearing it, I used to get upset about it. I got offended by people telling me, you're violent, you're oppressing women, you're part of what they call it, the patriarchy, you're trying to control society. I'm not. I'm just trying to do the best I can for my family and work hard every day. And just about 99% of men I know are trying to do that. So know your worth. Remember that term high value man is a term that I hate. I hate that term. What does that mean? High value man. If you're a man, you have value. If you're a woman, you have value. Right? So you don't have to, there should be no qualifying criteria for that. How much money you make per year, and if your belly is flat, and how many cars you have in your garage. That doesn't make you a high value person.
No.
So it's been very much corrupted. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't make you high value because you own a business or because you're rich, you pull in 6 figures a year, 7 figures a year, that means nothing. You can still be toxic, correct? So I think we should stop playing into these things. And I don't like, and I hate to be personal, but I don't like how we're trying to blur the difference between our genders. We should celebrate our differences. We have differences, they exist, and we're designed to live together and cooperate together. That's what we should be focusing on. We should be focused on living together as men and women and working together as men and women. All right? Men never think that developing yourself is selfish. We tend to focus on ourselves last. We wait until we're after 40 to try to work on ourselves. And that's not a good thing. We spend most of our 20s and 30s chasing women, doing that high-risk behavior. And then you want to build ourselves later on, all right? When we should be doing the reverse. And once you build yourself into the type of man you should be, then of course find the woman that you need to find, the one that needs to support you, like my wife. Sorry, did that? I told you I got this planned out. No, but then your life will be a lot easier, all right? So mind your health, mind your habits, your medical responsibilities, mind your wealth, your professional development, and your financial priorities. So I'd like to thank the Rotary Club of Nassau for having me here. It was a very good experience for me. I like doing this stuff. I love talking about this stuff, and don't worry about my wife, she's gonna be fine. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Dr. Brizard, what an awesome presentation. I was looking at the room because I was sitting in the back, but there was literally silence. I think you stepped on every single one of us, our toes. So I'm hoping that we can all do better. There's always room for improvement. So we truly appreciate you taking the time out to be with us today and share the information that you have. And we also, I think we have an exercise program to come up with you at some point in time. That's probably going to come in the next president's reign. where we can actually have a social and have you do your exercise with us. But we, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Nassau, we just wanted to present this as a cup, as a token of our appreciation for what you've done today with us. Thank you very much. Blessing.
And the certificate on. Certificate on screen, you can share it. Okay?
All right, give it up for dogs. And if dog throw a rock and hit you once, say ow. If he throw 2 rocks and hit you twice, say ow, ow. Tell you that, boy. All I was doing is squinching over there. Oh, jeepers. He threw one right at me. That one hit me right in the head. Hey, particularly, you know, I had my little friend fry there when you talk with the friend fry there. You know, it was great. At President, you have your fried chicken. It was so easy. Talking, boy, you playing for the day. But nonetheless, it was good. Good information. Good to have that all the time. All right, so we're gonna have a parking lot afterwards, and those of you have questions can ask it after our meeting. The Chairman and Doc would be more than happy to answer 1 or 2 questions. All right, for the interest of time. All right, do we have any raffles, Madam President? No raffles. We move straight along. Let's go on, and then we have 4-way tests. And then we'll say this together. Let's say our 4-way test together. Please stand. 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Will it be fun? Yes, it will be fun. It will be. And now we're gonna ask Rotarian Larry. Larry gets to class, if we like to hear you say it. Well, Rotary around the world, Larry, let's hear you.
For all of you Rotarians who are here, and those who are zooming with us on air, let's join with Rotarians everywhere in a toast to Rotary over the world.
Larry know how to do it.
Thank you so much.
It's a poet.
Thank you. We had a beautiful meeting today. We had over 20 odd persons in the room. So let's give ourselves a round of applause. And next week we're going to push it for 25, 30. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Getting there. All right. Good. So any questions we have online or any questions now for our guests, for Dr. Answer? Any nutritional questions?
I just Googled about assumption that Bahamians consume about 40 billion pounds of chicken per year. And that was in
What? Is that good about?
The question is a good or bad. I bet you 45 million pounds of that was KFC. Right, so 40 million pounds, 35 million pounds. I bet 35 million pounds of that was KFC and 5 million was.
We have people in and out.
They do this every.
I guess we're done with questions.
Just join it for a picture. It's historic. Take a picture. It's historic. Big one is just today. You're standing on a much of the mirage.
Anything on French?
Get someone to. We need the camera, please.
Yes. Yes.
We need a picture taken.
No, you want to get your.
Anyone else?
That's real.
This is how it works. You know. I'm just taking this advice. Madam President, make sure. It could be, yeah. Whether you punch me or- But if you look, you can see the margin.
Got everybody? Turn on, put the tape.
You got it? You got it? Make sure you get all of us. I'm no way gonna go. No.
No, I have to order them. It's for that. Yes. Which. That's right.
This is.